She's tired. Now, yesterday was an exposal day for Jane Doe. We heard from many people in court. They felt like her testimony at first seemed like she was a victim, but after they kept flushing out these things and details, people started saying, bitch, you just want the money. You knew what you were doing. You got on the train, the gravy train, at 35 years old. You're 38 now. How the hell could you be compared to Cassie and all these other people who claim they were young, brain undeveloped, I guess, had nothing going on? You had a baby by, now they can't bring up 50 cents, his financial profile. Also, she's going by Jane Doe, not Daphne Joy, who we know she is. So they can't bring that up. But really, she was not no struggling chick that needed this check. She wanted that lifestyle. Now, she's came back around and said, yo, I wanted this because, wait, what did she say? No, she said, oh, I only needed a 10,000. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, these bitches got all type of excuses when they want to justify the luxurious standards they got. Oh, no, I only had the $10,000 a month apartment because we need somewhere private to do the freak offs. We just need a private place. Now, they try to flush it out to say, but you had a son, right? And you wanted the son to have a backyard to play in, right? You wanted this type of thing. And they're kind of breaking it down where she's still kind of, and I know some people think she's a Trojan horse for the defense. Keep in mind, Diddy's still paying for an apartment, still paying for a lawyer to this day. People are saying maybe she's going to be a Trojan horse. She's still saying that Diddy manipulated her. Still saying that Diddy beat her. She's still saying Diddy made her do things that she wasn't really down with. So I don't know how she's helping Diddy. However, her intentions and motives are becoming much clearer as Tenny is breaking her down piece by piece. Honestly, if you ask me, she's coming off minute by minute to be a money-hungry. She like every bitch on Instagram. Buy me a Chanel. Buy me this. I'll fuck you. I'll do whatever. Except those chicks, they just usually go on to the next trick when they're done. She's up in court sobbing. Sobbing. That's going to be a problem. Now, chat, y'all got to monitor my audio levels. Keep in mind, we're doing a 30-day stream. Without my voice, I can't stream, so I can't go too hard. Pause. So I can feel my voice teetering again. So I got to keep it low. We're trying to get to, we got to do about 6 hours today. Okay? By the way, I guess I can announce it now because I'm not going. I was going to the Toronto show. I got 5 tickets to the Toronto show. I was up in that bitch. And then, don't ask. I don't even want to get into why I'm not going, but it's nothing with that. It's travel stuff. And I'm not going. And I was going to have to do too much. I already popped out to a Kendrick show. Y'all know me. I'm hard-headed. You're going to have to teach me. So I was popping up to the Toronto show to see how it looked like. Okay? However, I ain't going. So I got 5 tickets for anybody in Toronto. Sweet tickets. I don't know if I can give it to y'all, though. Anyway, so, and the reason why I'm not going to, number one, I already made my point. I popped out to a show. Niggas, I won't go. Stop it. Already went. Second of all, for me to go, y'all wouldn't have got to stream tonight till 8 o'clock. Y'all wouldn't have got to stream till 8 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow, it would barely be a stream, but it wouldn't be at a time that covered the trial. I started to look at it. I don't give a fuck what Kendrick got going on, even though I am intrigued how it's going to go down in Toronto. For me to cut my streaming time, like, I already made my point. Like, my nigga, I go where I want. But I'm here for y'all. And that situation, that's not my whole life. So, I was set to go to Toronto, but actually, I even told Drake I was coming to Toronto. I'm like, yo, I'm coming through. Yo, me and Drake talked yesterday. I told that nigga Drake, I said, Drake, if you like that, I said, you see how Big Act popped up at the show? Nigga, you pop up at the show. I'm an instigator. I'm an instigator. I'm an instigator. I'm an instigator. You know what Drake told me? Yo, Drake said, nah, because you know what happened? Nah, I don't even want to tell you the other part. So I told Drake, I said, yo, Drake, you see how, I said, you got to do your big act. Pop up and show niggas. They in your city. Pop up, nigga. You know what he told me? He said, yo, act. They've had, like, I forgot exactly what he said. They've had 2 cars on my block since 2 days ago. Since they know this nigga's coming here. Like, bruv, like, the whole city's taking on, like, nigga. Anyway, you know? So, I still think you should pop up and show niggas. But whatever. Whatever. I like that term. Pop out and show niggas, man. So, somebody say I'm cap. Y'all never believe nothing. Why do I even tell y'all shit? I tell y'all the truth. Y'all be like, you're lying. I tell y'all what y'all want to hear. He's telling the truth. Why do y'all even listen to me? If I tell y'all what y'all want to hear, y'all like, no, he's telling the truth now. It's so interesting. This is what they were saying. Don't do. Oh, fuck. Let's get into the case. Yo, if I came online and told a story, I was doing the Usain Bolt out the building. Dave Friend was chasing me. Y'all be like, that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth we want to hear. Yes. Yes. If I tell you we spoke like men, ain't no pressing happened. A mutual manly conversation did happen though. Y'all like, nah, we don't want to hear that. When I tell you the details of the convo, nah, we don't want to hear that. Y'all can't be pleased. Y'all can't be pleased. Anyway, I'm not going to Toronto, which I was going to go. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stream. I'm back to Diddy case. I'll cover what happens there, and I hope it's peaceful. I'm going to be honest with you. So make no mistake, none of what I'm saying is predicting or projecting or hoping there's any type of disruption, violence, or anything else. I hope it's pretty peaceful, but I do think it's going to be a significant moment. I remember being there. It was historic for me when I was in Philly. I went to Philly show. This is how you should know what type of nigga I am. As I said, this is not only my job, but my life. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. I don't clock in 9 to 5. I live this shit. Okay? When Meek was beefing with Drake, I could have went to the New York Drake show, the Jersey Drake show. Nigga, I went to Wells Fargo. I needed to see with my own 2 eyes. Will Drake walk up in a Philadelphia arena and perform back to back? He did. He did. So I had to see that with my own 2 eyes, and he definitely did. So we'll see how tonight goes. No matter what, I do think it will be historic because this is like what Drake did to Meek. If I'm going to go up in your city and I'm going to stand there on stage and perform and then call, number one, I want to see if I might really have to go to the show. Hold on, Chad. Starting to think about it. To hear Kendrick diss Canada in Canada, I'd rather do that than make a Canadian nigga. Cause you know, when he's dissing Drake, half of the diss is he's like downing Canadians. Like, I'd rather do that than make a Canadian nigga make Pac roll in his grave or some shit. Cutthroat business. What is it? The braids? So I want to watch if Canada is going to sit there while he's dissing he's just saying Canadians. And then I want to see if he's going to call Drake a pedophile in his own city. I just want to see it. Oh, shit. He's calling Drake a pedophile in his own city. I don't know if that happens. I don't know if the 6 God could be just 6 Godding. Maybe it could be a 6th angel, but not the God can't let that happen. I got to keep it fair. The God can't let that happen. Anyway, we'll see. Somebody say I got to go. Y'all, being honest with y'all. You know, y'all, I only have one boss as y'all. Would you rather me not stream today and go? I'll get over there. We'll get to it. I'll get to it. Don't you worry. I'll get to it. It's a must. I must go. So y'all wouldn't mind if like the stream, like again, we're probably gonna have 3 hours of stream today, 3 hours of stream tomorrow. But I get up there. Go make history. It ain't me making history. It's Kendrick making history. I just want to see if he's that bold. And I want to see what Canada's hitting for. Yo, I thought 500 Philly niggas was about to rush Drake on stage when Back to Back came on. Nigga, when Back to Back came on in Wells Fargo Arena, nigga, it's like, ding, 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 You know how they start? I'm looking around. I'm like, yo, what the Philly niggas with the beards and the koofies? They're about to rush Drake. Everybody was just like, huh. Yo, they were just clowning, bro. I'm like, oh, shit. Nobody give a fuck. Nobody give a fuck, bro. Back to back like Jordan 96, 97. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. I was looking around. I'm like, where the Philly niggas at? Now, granted, there was about 4,000 cops outside, but who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? It's going to be the same tonight. There's going to be 10,000 cops outside. They're already on Drake's block just circling the shit. I think Drake even was smart. He said, yo, you know what? I'm about to go do a stream with Kai Cenat today. Today's the Kai stream. Let's do the Kai stream. Okay. Let's go figure out the Somebody Who Loves Me song. All right. Anyway, let's get into the case. Wait, should I go? Yeah, run a poll. Run a poll. Run a poll, chat. Run a poll. Run a poll. Should Big Act pop up to Toronto? I already popped up. I popped up in the most black city. It's 75% black people in Detroit. I looked it up. Somebody said stream at the show. It's there. Number one, I'm not going to get permission from Kendrick's team. For me to stream at the show, I got to bring the streaming backpack. They won't let in anything bigger than this. It's a stadium, bro. Like, they're not going to let shit in like that. Unless I have special permission. I got to get special permission from Kendrick and them. They're not going to give it to me, bro. So, just being honest. But could I pop up in a... I see something be like, yo, Act hit it in the suite. All right. We might have to be front row. Front row, chat. Me top... No, I'm not going to be top 5. Let me not say... Yo. It's starting, though. It's starting. Matter of fact, maybe I shouldn't go. Oh, I guess it's on the close friends. Supposedly, I don't want to dox for a hotel. They claim so-and-so is staying, but them Toronto niggas been... I'm going to just stay out of this shit. Also, I don't want to be... You see, at least Detroit, they know I'm there by myself. In Toronto, they might think anybody they see is... I want to stay out the fray. I should have went to go see what was the vibes at New Hope King, right? Double G Double N says go. Stream at the show. Oh, shit. Really? Okay. I'll keep you guys updated. By the way, I did tell Drake my intention to come. This is before I realized it's going to do too much for me to go. Okay. I did tell Drake, I'm like, listen, I said, I told Drake, I said, I don't know how y'all niggas is doing it. I know I'm not beefing with necessarily Drake's team, or not obviously, but I'm not beefing with Kendrick's team. But nigga, I hope y'all are the tough guys. I ain't tough. I'm popping out and showing niggas. Remember they say I only stay in the crib. Nobody showed up to me. And my address on Google. I ain't see not one nigga pop out to show me. I'm popping out to where they're at, no matter who it is. So I said to Drake, you gonna pop out and show niggas or what? Instigating. All right, let's get on to the trial. Okay, so a lot of drama going on today in court chat. Let me give you the wrap up on what happened yesterday. So Lauren Conlon actually breaks down how Jane is on the stand, and there's some developments today we're going to get to shortly. Lauren Conlon, shout out to her. We're about to do some shit. She breaks down how Jane Doe, aka Daphne Joy, is getting a little irritated. She got irritated with Tenny Garagos on Cross. She is getting a little sassy at times. She supposedly describes one of Diddy's other concubines, Gina Q, as trash. So she's up there getting her shit off. Listen to this, chat, and then we're going to get into reading all the tweets from this morning.
The United States versus Sean Combs. We are on day 21, and it was a very short day in court today. So I'll go over some of the highlights.
By the way, Hype Exotic, you said I need to go grab some hot tea. You're right. I need some tea. I'm gonna get some tea. Don't you worry. The voice gotta stay. Trust.
We did not hear as many explicit text messages today. Thank goodness. I am very relieved about that. We did see Jane get very emotional on the stand today. There were a lot of messages read from Jane to Diddy about how much she loved him, how much she cared for him. And I mean like very sentimental messages where she said, I am on my knees thanking God for you. And there was one message in particular where she said that he has made her child so happy, and that just meant the world to her. And at that point, she got very emotional on the stand. She started to really cry, and it seemed like she needed a break. They took a quick sidebar after that, but a break wasn't needed. And I think the point of the defense, God, my blush, sorry. When I look at this, I'm like, man, I think the point of the defense playing this was that they pointed out that all of...
Trey, good looks. I see you, Trey. Trey's take. I see you, my boy, on the King Akademiks page. He said, bro, I told you to get some tea.
After trips that involved multiple hotel nights. Now, we also heard just some context behind a couple things that we had previously heard in the past, like the island trip where he went to this island with another woman and he bragged about how much sex they had on this podcast. That was actually with Young Miami. And I think I had previously said it was Gina, but don't worry, we heard a lot more about Gina on the stand today. We saw text messages from Jane to Diddy, again, fighting about Gina, and Jane refers to Gina as trash a lot, saying, you dipped yourself in trash again. I don't want this, toxicity in our...
Ooh. A story old as time. A woman saying another woman is trash. Okay? Not knowing y'all both in the same dumpster. Oh, you fucking with her? She's trash. I can't believe you fucking her. Well, I'm fucking you too. Y'all on the same dumpster.
Our relationship, because she had indicated that Gina and Diddy were very toxic, and he would sort of bring that home to her. And we also saw text messages where they got in a fight because he had gotten Gina a necklace and she posted it on social media publicly, and Diddy got upset at Jane about, or not upset, but he made her take down a food post that she had tagged him in earlier. So it was like, she can't be public, but Gina can, as well as Young Miami. She just said she felt very disrespected when these women would publicly post. And again, she was doing these quote unquote hotel nights. Now, we saw a multitude of text messages with Jane setting up these hotel nights. And, you know, she pointed out many times that she felt like she had to do this to make her partner happy because she loved him. And there was one point where, you know, Tenny Garagos brought up the 3 men night.
Young Carter, don't be hating on the King Academics channel. Hey, the chat just trying to make sure I'm good. Like, yo, we family here. Y'all my doctor, my therapist, relationship coach, health expert, my liver expert. Y'all are everything for me. So no, they didn't pay me to tell me to drink some tea. They want to make sure the stream continues. We got to keep it going. One monkey don't stop a show. A little voice box don't stop nothing. We got to keep it going. I might have to like operate in sign language.
Sobriety night. And, you know, she just said, like, and she said this a bunch of times, like, you agreed to it, right? And Jane would answer, unfortunately, yes.
By the way, okay, oh my God. Skinny Day says, how could you say you and Dave talk trying to stop the BS but still instigating? Brother, me and his conversation ain't got nothing to do with this. I told both of them niggas, yo, y'all issues with Drake. I told Dave, I said, listen, if you feel like, nigga, y'all can't get to Drake and y'all want to get it, nigga, I came here prepared. It's what it is. I don't give a fuck. This whole thing, it's not me de-escalating nothing with these niggas. They have a beef with Drake. They don't got a beef with me. I told them. I showed up to your show because if I had a beef with you, I wouldn't show up to your show. So this whole thing, nigga, I don't give a fuck what y'all told about. I don't care if these grown-ass men solve their beef. I told you if somebody get clipped, I'm not going to feel sad. I'm sorry. They're calling each other pedophiles. They're saying that this nigga don't own his son or whatever. I don't give two fucks. I'm not taking no responsibility for grown man actions. So please don't act like I have any part in this. Dave Free need to go see about Drake about saying that he fathered somebody's kid. He need to see him. Don't see act. See him. And Drake need to go see Kendrick about the pedophile shit. That's a fact. Y'all niggas stop with the pussy shit. Niggas got clipped in this hip-hop shit for less. Stop trying to blame a media outlet. They started this shit. And they still in their feelings about it. Go handle your business. Don't come to the media. Go handle your business. I'm sorry. Go handle your business. I'm not taking no responsibility. When you call a nigga a pedophile, you know a nigga could get clipped for that. That's a fact. If you call a nigga a snitch, you could get clipped for that. Rest in peace, Nipsey. That's what happens.
And she answered, unfortunately, yes, multiple times. And Tenny Garagos said, you know, you keep saying, unfortunately, but you agreed, right? And she kept saying, I resent him for it. I resent him for it. And Tenny Garagos would say, okay, so you resent him for it, but you also regret it now. Kind of trying to point out that she regrets it now, looking back. So there was a lot of that.
Now, y'all hoes just complain about 2-3. So you could tell Diddy was missing Cassie a little bit. He was missing her. You know? With Cassie, felt like more love. You could tell Jane Doe was mad transactional. After a good night of Baby Oil, Astroglide, and male entertainers, immediately, Jane Doe, a.k.a. Daphne, would be like, you gonna drop something in my account? Almost like she felt like she was getting paid. She just want to get paid for the fucking. Diddy loved when these women just loved him. Only Cassie gave that. Cassie was down to do anything. Cassie was a real one. This chick, he could tell, bitch need a Van Cleef. Bitch need this. Bitch need that. Like, what the fuck? He already paid. Like, it's like she's, I hate to use 50's term, but she a little sex worker. With Cassie just wanted to please him and wanted him to love her. Now, this girl claims she wanted Diddy to love her, but she was mad transactional. Drop something in my account. I just fucked 3 niggas last night. Drop something in my account. Oh, okay. Make sure you keep paying this and paying that. It was you could hear the transactionality in it. Not Cassie. So Diddy at some point started writing to Cassie. But I think what was probably happening, even though Cassie probably still loves him, and by the way, she admitted that she still has love for the times they spent. Cassie moved on to another place in her life. Cassie was a new mom. I think she had 2 kids at this time. And Cassie was married. Freak off days was a long time ago for Cassie. So I think that's what fucked it up, because I think Diddy wanted to go back to Cassie.
We'll just have to see. So we're coming to a close, and we're covering it quite closely on Inner City Press, and we'll have the Week 5 book out, hopefully on Friday,
That's a
as
pineapple
we've done in
shot.
previous weeks. So there's that. Now, what happened yesterday, Bob Menendez, if you remember him, the former longtime senator of New Jersey.
Okay. Back in. So, here we go. Before the jury was brought in today, they said the messages that are at issue today for the defense said, can't you redact these messages y'all want to get in? Tenney says, we shouldn't have it. It's consistent. We shouldn't have to, have them redacted. It's consistent with our theory. Hold on, give me a second. Make sure I can see it. It's consistent with our theory, and they opened the door. The judge says they didn't open the door. Wow, okay. Comey, AUSA, says, on direct, we elicited testimony about the end of the relationship in 2024. There were no texts, but oral communications. This is a self-serving voice note by the defendant. It should not come in. By December 2023, he was trying to make a record for litigation. So here's the thing. They're saying that Diddy, after he got sued and he paid out to Cassie, and now there was rumors and mumblings that there's a grand jury and a possible federal indictment coming, Diddy started crossing his T's, dotting his I's. All the bitches he's fucking, he will hit them up and be like, hey, just that we clear, you love doing this shit, right? And it was more of trying to cover his ass more than actual genuine relationships or genuine conversations. So the government is saying, we don't want those conversations to be brought in, because that's after Cassie filed her case, and the way he was moving was not a natural movement. That was someone who knew his goose was being cooked. Anyway. Here we go. Judge says, what about Ms. Garrigo's questioning Jane about this without introducing a voice note? Comey says, that might confuse the jury too. The defendant was trying to feed Jane a narrative throughout their relationship. The hearsay rule precludes this. So they're saying they don't want anything that Diddy was saying to this woman after he got the civil suit, and then the federal government started an indictment or a grand jury against him. They don't want those things to be admitted, because it's like someone knowing they're under investigation and they start making it overtly clear. Yo, so by the way, you've never seen me touch drugs, right? You ain't never seen me with a gun, right? And they elicit statements from people that could be co-conspirators, but it's only because they want later, if they get charged, to say, but look, these people said I never did it. So they're trying to get that out. Comey says if the defendant wants to take the stand, ooh, that's Diddy, and subject himself to cross-examination, fine. The judge says the questions without the voice note would not be for the truth. Comey says, but it would be a backdoor way to get this in. The judge says, I agree with the government on those portions of the voice notes. And the voice notes will not be included. They'll be excluded. Some questions will be permitted, and if you feel there's a basis for introduction, you can call a sidebar. Now, the U.S. wants more of Jane's notes. Remember, she was one of them girls, she was writing her notes all the time. That's her diary. The judge says, because they were going to make a ruling today, once there's a motive to fabricate, the statements can't come in as prior consistent statements. The pattern or the fact pattern does not appear to have been previously arisen. 2 time periods. The defense argues it would be improper. They post-date the lawsuit. Comey says, I know we're delayed in bringing the jury in, so I don't want to push about getting this in, but the judge says, now you can go ahead, push, pause. It's just that the government already put a lot of this messages already in. Comey says, well, we want We want in her I felt obligated 98% of the time. The judge says, I'm going to reserve. Okay? We could bring in Jane. Comey says, Your Honor, we made an application through your deputy. Judge says, I think it's reflected on this Post-it note. And says, isn't this, okay. Got a little fruit bowl over here, Chad. I'm cooling. I can see a fruit fly in front of me. I hate fruits. Fuck. Jack. So good. So now they're talking about, these publications. All right. Now, 10 o'clock, which is about 2 hours ago. They're still in the Robin room. Combs has been taken back in the back to the holding cell by the marshals. Look like they might be having a bathroom break. And it says, like, what would Jane Doe's counsel be getting ready to play? So it looked like what happens is Daphne Joy's lawyer says, Judge, before you bring in Daphne, can we holler at you? Not in front of the court. Could we go to your chambers? Now, remember, it will be an ex parte meeting because she's already on the stand. Unless all three parties are there. So there's someone from Diddy's counsel, probably Mark Ignifilo and Tenny because she's doing a cross. There's going to be a court reporter. There's going to be a sheriff. Diddy does not have to be there, but he could. But apparently he's not. He's in a holding cell. There's going to be Jane Doe, Daphne, and there's going to be Daphne's lawyer who's being paid for by Puff. Now keep in mind, if niggas like, if you're going through a divorce, you got to pay for your wife's divorce attorney. The attorney ain't working for the nigga who paid for her. They're working for the client that they're sworn to have their attorney-client privilege with, right? So even though Diddy's paying for the lawyer not working for Diddy. They're working for her. So they go in the back, and it's delaying court. Holy. 10:05. Counselors back from the Robin room. Now Ignifilo, Shapiro, and Steele, they huddle with Combs. They're talking with them. So it look like they're saying, bruv, this is what happened in the back. We met with Jane, her lawyer, prosecutors, judge. This is what's popping. Now, the mere fact this is not done in open court has to be a matter of privacy, secrecy, and we all know she's going by the moniker Jane Doe. Chat, your wish is my command. I got the tea. Pause. The Academy mug with the tea. I'm going to save the voice today, chat. We good. WT, chat. WT. There we go. So, I'm already feeling, my throat feel a little bit better. Pause. Okay. So they're huddled around Combs. They're talking to him. Xavier Donaldson goes from the middle to the back table to talk with Combs. Ignifilo's in the front. He's talking with a Comey. Jane still ain't pop out. It's pretty hot. It's a little warm tea. It's good. Good for the vocal cords. Chat, this is going to be the difference between us doing a 3-hour stream and a 6-hour stream. We're here. Locked in. Unless y'all want me to go to Canada. Should I go to Canada? We go to Canada. If I go to Canada, I got to cut the stream now. Anyway. Here we go. Combs is speaking one-on-one with Nicole as Driscoll and Xavier are standing between the tables. So it's kind of like this is the moment. Don't know what's going on. The press don't know. Gallery doesn't know. And none of this is on the record. It started before 10 a.m. It's more than half an hour now. It's a moment ago, Combs started smiling, even laughing. Oh, Diddy's laughing. Hey, shout out to my boy. Anybody know the Big AJ? Shout out to the Big AJ. You know, one of our longtime chat niggas. Y'all know him as a personality too. I did a stream when I was like, man, holy. Is that blueberries? Oh, shit. Look. I did a stream. When I did a stream, I said, Christian Combs, Justin Combs, y'all still paying the bills of this woman that's trying to sink your father. Cut it off immediately. Big AJ talked to me later after the stream. He said, I heard the stream. Let's play this out. You think it would be smart for them to just cut it off today? I thought about it. I said, they probably got to wait. Here's the thing. No, it looks funny if you cut off your support for her because she's a government witness, but it also, will probably piss her off even more. Keep in mind, this was a woman that was sucking multiple cocks a night as long as you paid her rent. So, even if she's flipping on you, you can't cut off that support till she's off that stand. Gotta leave it there. So, it looks like something happened. Diddy's smiling. He's laughing. He puts his hand in his head. He said, what was on that Post-it note? When it'll be docketed? 10:40. 10:40, chat, an hour ago. Judge says, Ms. Garagos, you ready to proceed? Ignifilo says, he had this discussion in the back. Mr. Combs was not present. I would like to lodge this objection. We litigated over pseudonyms. The judge says, let's take a step back. Judge says, I could clear the courtroom if we need to. Ignifilo says, no need. I will conform my comments to an open court, which means I'm not going to say certain things that could make it privy. There's some mango right here, chat. Anybody like mango? Mango right here. We used to have a mango tree in Jamaica. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm going to limit my comments that it could be still on the open record in open court. Is there a reason trial and names are public? Is so people who were there could come forward. We objected already to a pseudonym like Mia, because ain't nobody named Mia. That's Sarah Schnecker. Fuck. Now this. The events in the hotel room on January 24th, 2024. I appreciate the balancing, but we maintain constitutional right to a fully public trial. That still remains. We ain't consent to these events not being fully public. So Diddy's saying, I don't care if y'all even show the sex tapes. Fuck it. It's all public. Let me sip some tea here. Niflo says, he continues, he says, part of the public nature of the trial is for the information to reach the public so other witnesses could come forward. I wanted my client to hear this. The judge says, well, Ms. Comey, that's Maureen Comey, daughter of former FBI director James Comey. She's the lead prosecutor. Comey says, as long as your answer remains no, we're fine. Now we don't know what you're talking about. Comey says the argument to say the name is an attempt to harass. Now, what this could mean, remember I'm going off tweets, but I'm trying to put two and two together. Y'all smart, I'm smart. We smartest. We the smartest group. This could be the name 50, which obviously if you name 50, we know who his baby mama is. That's one son that's younger that gets $47,000 or $4,700 a month. So we know who Jane Doe is. It appears that they're arguing over this idea that she's a pseudonym. Because they're saying it's impossible for us to have a defense to what she's saying because she acting like nobody know her, but the people who we could bring to say she's fucking lying, that will, the AUSA is objecting to because that would clearly dox her. It'll clearly dox her. But here's the difference between her and Mia, which they also objected to. Mia did claim she was a victim, but Mia ain't a main victim. This one right here, I think the government is saying, we're going to expose her like Banner. Not government, I mean Diddy's team, his defense team. So they're going to have some witnesses like, yo, wasn't she your best friend? All right, come to the stand and bring her best friend up there and expose her that she's a whore. She's a prostitute. She just fucks for money. She's done this before. By the way, keep in mind, somebody brought this up. This is relevant. Peter Nygaard, Daphne Joy. Everybody knows this is Peter Nygaard is someone, let's just Google him. He owns some Jeffrey Epstein shit. He's a disgraced Canadian businessman and former fashion executive that supposedly would have harems of women doing their bidding. Apparently, he was linked to Daphne Joy. Now, that dude was found guilty.
He
was found guilty. But the relevant part that might be used, and I'm not making this up, but I'm trying to think out loud about why we don't know the full details yet. Maybe they want to introduce that. But if you introduce that, it also doxes Jane Doe. So it looks like Diddy's team is trying to say, if we're going to put up a defense against Jane Doe, which we got a defense, we got to bring people up that she's dealt with before, maybe in a prostitute sense or an escort sense. Just to say, well, if you claim Diddy did this to you and was sex trafficking you, what about this guy? You didn't say he was sex trafficking you. What's up with that? Right? That might be. Not saying it is, might be. Let's keep it going. The judge says in this event in the hotel is not one of the alleged acts of sex trafficking. It's just collateral. It's not a real concern. Comey says the identity of those there isn't a defense. Okay, so we kind of get what it is. Diddy is now ready to play dirty. He's now down to play dirty, chat. Diddy want to drop names. 6ix9ine must have taught him. He know he was locked up with 6ix9ine. Come on, you ain't gonna act like I'm the only freak in this shit. Come on, Ja Rule, you know your name is in this. Come on, boy. Meek, you know. No, I'm playing. I'm not saying those are in there, but they're arguing about the identity of other people that I would imagine the government saying you can't name those people because they, and again, it might be 50. They directly linked to Jane Doe, which violates the fact that she is a hidden witness. So cool. Pineapple. Anybody fuck with pineapple? Yeah. Love some pineapple, bro. Okay. Chat. Me. I'm substituting Chick-fil-A for pineapples. Strawberries. Grapes. Blueberries. We're doing a fruit diet today. Fruit diet. Okay. Okay, so they're waiting for Jane. This issue of identifying a cooperating witness, bringing forth rebuttal testimony from those who learn about it through the press. It came up before. Oh, wow. Okay. So, just to further explain, there's a thinly veiled attempt of saying we haven't gone for our defense yet. And part of our strategy is to elicit other witnesses that could corroborate or dispute what the government witness is saying. So we might, if we're going to talk about an event, might be a party. We might have to say it was a Jamie Foxx party. It was a, I don't know, whoever party, but we got to say that person's name that happened then, that maybe someone's like, oh, I was there. I seen that shit. Nah. It ain't happened like how she said. So that's what they're kind of going at, all right? Judge, 56 minutes ago. So they spent most of the morning arguing about this. All rise. He said, jurors, I apologize. It took long. We did things to save you some time. Jane, you're still under oath. Proceed. Tenny says, good morning. Let's look at your message where you said, I feel as your lover, I wanted to please you. I pushed through. Garagos continues, because she's showing her a message. What did you really, so what you really wanted was just to cuddle with Mr. Combs, right? Jane says, I just wanted my intimate time. Garagos says, tell me about the mobile TV you got him. Jane says it was an LG, cordless, that he could move it around. Garagos says, so it was a TV he could see y'all movies on, right? She said, yeah. Garagos says, after the Cassie lawsuit went public, how were things? Jane says, I came to find out that another woman had the same experiences I had. I put out that energy on him, and he was already down. So it was resentment. Everything was hard. It was a hard month? She says, yes. Let's play this voice note. Diddy says, I don't want to be in a relationship like this. I don't want to make anyone feel like this. Let's end this cycle so you don't feel like I wasted your life. Now, remember, they were just arguing about this before the jurors came in. They don't want to put anything past December because they felt Diddy was, cognizant, aware of what's going to happen, and he's now giving very clear options. Hey, I don't want to do nothing that make you feel like you ain't with it. You could go, stop fucking with me, blah, blah, blah. Now, we don't know what time this is, but Diddy's telling her, hey, if you feel unhappy, I don't want to be in a relationship like that. If you feel like you're, chicks tell you some dumb shit. Oh, yeah, no, I've been feeling this, I've been feeling that. All right, hold on. If I make you feel like that, leave. Hit the door. Let's end it. Garagos says, are there any more messages of Diddy telling you, let's end this shit? She says, yes. Garagos says, did Sean often say to you, I don't do problems. I'm a solutions person. Let's get to the solutions. She says, yes. Garagos says, you wrote, I tolerated, and I took a lot. Boy, did she take a lot. In those rooms, please don't discredit me. What did he write? Didn't he write, I've never discredited you? She says, yeah. Garagos says, you wrote you wanted $100,000. Bumbleclot. For each wasted time, I guess. And then you wanted more. You wanted $450,000. Chat, this bitch was extorting him. She knew, because she was in his inner circle at the time, Diddy is under. Diddy. Wait till intermission. Okay. So looks like she starts hitting Diddy because she know Diddy's getting squeezed. Also, here's the thing too. Didn't I tell y'all, Young Miami fucked up the whole shit. By the way, Fruit Jams. Fruit Jams. I see you, my boy. My boy Fruit Jams, he been holding it down. I can't even lie to you. Let me see if I can find a clip. Chat, I need y'all to support this page. Grand's already on board with him. Y'all support my nigga. I said this a while ago. I told y'all. Somebody sent this to me today. And they said, Ak, you predicted this a while ago. And now everybody's realizing this came true. It's not that far down. It's not that far down. Right here. Listen to this, chat. This is before Daphne Joy said any of this shit. Didn't I call it? Diddy introduced Cassie and them to drugs. A chick like Carisha, she'd been off that too. Wait, hold on. No, that's not the one. No, this is right here.
Young Miami. First of all, I'm not blaming nobody for Diddy's actions. If he's guilty of these things, he's guilty of these things. But I just want to say, I think you dealing with Diddy was the ultimate whistleblower. You fucked up his whole shit. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because it could be a good thing if he's guilty. When Diddy started dealing with you, because you a chick that it looked like you one of them feisty chicks, and Diddy couldn't handle you like he handled Cassie, Gina, Kim Porter, the rest of them, The other women who've been through it, they took note and they felt away. They saw you back talk. They saw you do all the things that Diddy used to slap them square in the mouth for.
I'm lying?
They saw all the things that what Diddy used to punish them for, you did, and he didn't bat an eye. They didn't like that shit. Then they seen him have a kid with another woman. And it emboldened them to not only file lawsuits, but it emboldened them to speak to the police. So to keep it real, if y'all wondering why Diddy in jail, y'all could thank Carisha. I don't know if she thinks about it like this, but she's the ultimate whistleblower. She's the one that showed people that Diddy only treat whoever he feels he could treat like that. Because when he get a...
Didn't I tell you? Diddy fucked up his whole situation by trying to get a city girl. You know what? Yo, your archetype build in 2K is a chick that look like she like Asian. She don't got too much of a fat ass, but she's an eater. That's your build. Why you go try to chase a city girl who talk back, who ratchet, who like she'll say some shit to get in your feelings, and she don't give a fuck about going on Instagram to embarrass you and her. That's how Diddy fucked it up. I told y'all this, chat. Told y'all.
The bitch who ain't going for it. Like Carisha wasn't going. Like you could tell he couldn't give her no fucking black eye. Your Fruit Jams in the chat. What up? Yo, Young Miami.
Told y'all. So now we're seeing it manifesting. When there's blood in the water, the sharks come. Jane Doe pops up. And at first she's like, nah, she's comforting him. She was there. Sometimes your biggest op be in your bed. One in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes your biggest op you laying with. It's crazy. It's crazy. She was there when Cassie filed, not when Cassie filed a lawsuit, when the video came out of the beating. She's peeping game. She read the Cassie lawsuit. She said she threw up. She felt sick to her stomach. She still ain't leave. She turned to the biggest op. You know what she did? Wait. He paid this bitch out $30 million. The number that everyone would say was $30 million. You know what she did over time? All right, I'm tapping his pockets. I'm tapping his pockets because I could see what that bitch was dealing with. If she got 30, I shouldn't even have to sue. He should want to throw me the back. Remember, she went from being the $10,000 a month. She's asking for hundreds of thousands. She's asking for hundreds of thousands, chat. She texts him, I need 100 bands for each wasted, whatever. I don't know what that means. And then I need more than 450,000. He said, you wrote that, right? She said, yeah. Garrigo says, and you say you were thinking of hurting yourself. And he said, he said, don't, because he cared, right? She said, I don't know about if he cared. I don't know if he cared. Garrigo says, you said you ain't had no friends at the time. Objection. Garrigo says, I can rephrase. You said you talked about your feelings with Sean because you didn't have other people. Jane says, yeah. Garrigo says, was Sean still paying your rent? Jane says, yes. Garrigo says, but what about that $9,000 from Bear? You had another nigga. Bear. Bear's a pseudonym, by the way. You claim you had known him for your modeling days. Remember the link to Peter Nygaard? She was a model. Peter Nygaard abused many models. She said yes. Garrigo says, did you ever have to do no work for that $9,000 you got? She said no. Tricks. It's tricks. I blame Lil Baby and Gunna for introducing tricking into hip-hop. I ain't gonna lie to you. They've made it so cool to trick, and the idea of tricking, I'll get you the biggest Chanel in the store if you want. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, nigga? We're not doing that. Not me. Fuck. I'm gonna buy you some titties. What? For other niggas? Hell nah. But Lil Baby and Gunna, the two biggest tricks in hip-hop ever. I blame them niggas for making tricking so popular. Houston been tricking, It's tricks, pimps, and hoes over there. Memphis too. But for it to be worldwide, I blame Gunna and Lil Baby. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay. They said the rapper you mentioned, he was close with 50. No, not 50. Oh, shit. Freudian slip. The rapper you mentioned, he was close to Mr. Combs. She said yes. They play a video. They said this rapper, they will record together, right? And he's also an icon in the music industry, right? She said yes. But you went to the birthday party with the rapper wife or his girlfriend. Did you know that sex worker traveled with them? She said yes. Garrigo says, and Mr. Combs knew too, right? Yes. Garrigo says, when Anton was long dicking that woman, how many people are in the room? 7 or 8. Chat, I've been telling y'all this. There's another part of the industry where these freakazoid niggas just watch sex like it's performative art. Let's drink some mimosas. Let's drink some whatever and watch these two fuck all night. This is what this trial is telling me. I didn't know shit like this exists. 7 people just watching somebody fuck. That's crazy. Just sip your espresso martini while she's fucking getting throated. We don't know what rapper it is yet. Garrigo says, did you flash your breasts to the room? And who asked you to? She said, yes, I did. It was a moment. Chat, this is a underground freak-off, freakazoid party that, I'm going to be honest with you, y'all claim I'm in the industry. I never knew this existed. Vlad, this is where you come in. You got to ask every rapper, have you been to some shit like this? 8 people in the room watching 2 people fuck and people flashing? What's going on here? I've never heard some shit like this. So she's in a fuck party watching 2 people have sex. One's a sex worker. We don't know who the woman is. And it's so sexual in nature that she even flashes her titties to the room. We don't know if everybody else is masturbating. We don't know what's going on. So who asked you to? She said it was just a moment. He said, what did the rapper look like? Diddy's team is trying to get to the rapper. Ja, is that you? Meek, is this you? French, it better not be you. Who is this? Who is this rapper? Now they did say this is an icon. This is an icon. Let's go back up to make sure I'm not. This rapper, they would record together. So somebody, let's figure out what rapper this is. I can't get past this. What type of the freaky niggas in a game like this? This rapper will record with Diddy. He's also an icon. That erases 50 Cent. That's not 50. Who is this rapper? Kanye, I got to text you. Is it you, brother? Is it you? I think it's Ye. I can't even lie to you. I got to be honest. I think it's Ye. Holy fuck. I think it might be Ye. Chat. It's either Ye or J. It's Ye or J. It's Ye or J. It's Ye or J. Somebody says Rose? All right. Let's keep it going. You flash your breast to the room. Who asked you to do it? She said it was just a moment. What did the rapper say to you? He said he always wanted to fuck me. It's a freaky ass nigga right here. Who's the rapper, chat? Who's the rapper? Start a poll. We got a couple options. Start a poll. Meek Mill. French Montana. It don't seem like 50, but let's say 50 Cent. Kanye West. DJ Khaled. And who else? Rick Ross. Rick Ross. Or Jay-Z. Put Jay-Z up in there too. We got to put Jay-Z up in there. How did you bring up Cabral, a.k.a. Sly? They ask if I knew anyone in the lifestyle. Chat, we just found Pandora's box. There's underground sex parties happening in the industry. I guess they're saying, yo, this was fun. This is fun. Yo, y'all know anybody who's down with this? I could keep this shit quiet. Y'all know anybody like it? She says, you ever heard about my boy Cabral? His name's Sly. I said yes. At the time, I thought Cabral was a safe and confidential person. Now, chat, they're exposing this woman to be a constant freak-off attender. She didn't only freak off with Diddy. She's freaked off with multiple other people in the industry. This was just a freak. Tenny's exposing her. Tenny's exposing her. This ain't the first time she sold that box. Won't be the last. What wasn't the first time she sold the box, will not be the last. Can't blame it on Diddy. She's an habitual box seller. Chat, think about it. Garrigo says that was for the rapper and his partner, huh? Say, yeah. Garrigo says, how did they know to ask you? Jane said maybe they picked up the energy or heard that Sean and I were into that type of lifestyle. Okay. Chat. Drink some more tea. Gotta make sure I keep the voice. It's a good place. It's a good place. So go to 50 Cent's Instagram. Here we go. Oh, no.
It's a rare condition this day and age to demand a freak off with so much rage. But stranger's addiction that you'll ever find. Some people say that he's losing his mind.
Oh, no. Yo, this is how you know 50 is hilarious. 50, like, if I'm 50, I'll be mad. I'd be mad y'all keep calling this woman my baby mama. Call her by her government name. I don't know that bitch. I'm going to goddamn custody court or family court. Let me download this. I got to post it to the gram. Nah, this is good. This is the Freak Off theme song. Let's keep it going.
Well, then there must be some magic juice inside the Punisher. 'Cause all I see is...
Wait, J-Lo? No fucking way. Is that J-Lo?
The chocolate thing.
Oh, 50 is in this too. Look, missing Jay-Z.
Man, they're busting over everything.
Bieber in there too? Oh, nah, this is crazy. This is one of them ones. This one of them ones still. Let me caption it. Why 50 posts this trailer?
It's the big
Oh my God, the Punisher up in this bitch.
break of the century.
Gotta disinfect after the freak off. That's Gina Hugh right here. Damn. Damn. So chat. My memory is failing me. But that's why I got y'all. We the best detectives in the world. We the best detectives in the world. Now, here we go. Hold on. What year was it? I'm going to search these terms. Was Kanye West, I think it's Kanye, I ain't gonna lie to you. Was Kanye West in Las Vegas? Do y'all remember what time it was, chat? Like, what time was it? Chat, what time? I forgot. We got to go back to yesterday's Date. I think it's Ye. I'm being honest with you. And I love Ye. What date was this? What date was this, chat? What date was this? Remember, we were looking at who was in Vegas at that time? Chat, I only ordered this Soul Fruits because they said when you're getting ready for the freak off, you know, there's a lot of semen in there. They say you got to make your shit taste good. Got to eat some pineapples. I'm trolling, but I'm serious. I'm trolling, actually. I'm trolling. I wonder what the pre-freak off diet was. What was the pre-freak off diet? Gotta ask Cassie that, huh? Or maybe the sex worker, right? Run it back. I posted to my page now. Oh, I ain't post yet. Let's get off 50's page. Oh, the Frosted Flakes. Yeah, you're right.
It's a rare condition this day and age to demand a freak off with so much rage.
Oh, the baby oil.
But stranger's addiction that you'll ever find. Some people say that he's losing his mind.
Damn, with 3 basketball players. Yo, chat, this is the all-star freak off. Oh, my God. Nah, this is good. This is the all-star freak off, chat. This is the all-star freak off. All-stars. Holy.
Well, then there must be some magic.
Kid Cudi with a burning car.
Juice inside the Punisher.
J-Lo, we still waiting for you, girl.
Cause all I see is a chocolate thing.
50 like, I don't know nothing about this shit.
Man,
It said, missing Jay-Z, call police.
busted over
It's a man milk busted on what?
everything.
Bieber.
Days gone
Why you look like Urkel?
by. It's the biggest break of the century.
Executive producer, Kanye West. Oh, man. It's getting out of hand, chat. Little strawberry. God damn. That's Gina right there. What year was this? We could look it up. Okay, let's go. So who told her to flash her breast? She said no. Said a rapper said, I always wanted to fuck you. Garrigo said, so that rapper always had a crush on you, right? She said yes. How did you bring up Cabral? They asked if anyone else was into lifestyle. I said yes. Thought it could be a safe and confidential person. He said, so that was for the rapper and their partner, right? He said, how did they know to ask you? Maybe they picked up the energy or they heard that Sean and I was into the lifestyle. So you flew to Miami around the time of your birthday, right? She said yes. Somebody said, okay. Garrigo says, he set up a grandiose birthday for you, didn't he? Said, yeah. Were there candles on the walkway? Yeah, it was mad romantic. His heart was beating. Was your heart beating too? Seems rhetorical, but okay. Yeah. I was just about to say that. It was painted pink and silver. A 5-course dinner. That's exactly what I wanted for my lover. Garrigo says, was there ecstasy at the dinner? Nah, none. Afterwards, you took a pill. He took a pill. And Don came over, right? Yeah. 1-star island. You said you were willing to have sex with Don because of the birthday of the birthday party, correct? Give me 1 second, chat. You say you were down to have sex with Dawn because of the birthday party. She says, yes, it was nice. So it looked like she would offer to do these hotel nights if she felt Diddy treated her right. Gargo says, ain't this between you and Paul, Arthur, in which you ask, do you have plans for Valentine's Day? She said, right. Gargo says, you wanted to see Paul as a person, right? She said, yes. You said after the Cassie lawsuit, you saw changes in Puff. She says, yes. You said Sean would write you and say, I'm single. I'm polyamorous. And that would hurt you, right? She said, yes. After the lawsuit, he went to saying, we are in a relationship. You're my girlfriend. And that meant a lot to you, right? It did. Gargo says, when you saw a video of Combs laying hands on Cassie, did you feel sick? I did. Gargo says, that wasn't a man you knew, right? Right. Sidebar. They come back. Gargo says, you remained in contact with Mr. Combs after the video, though, right? Yeah. You stayed in Miami with him for a few days, then left, right? I did. He flew to LA in June with his kids, didn't he? Yeah. Is it fair to see Mr. Combs posted about his road trip with his kids on social media? Yeah, he did. There's a photo of how you set up the house. Some set up by you, some set up by Jonathan. Remember, this is the freak off house setup. Yeah. Is this a big bottle of Vive Clico? Is that how you say it, Jack? Yeah. Gargo says, and this photo right here on the patio, that's what it is, right? The patio? Yeah. And you were drinking that champagne, right? Champagne, right? Yeah. Gargo says, it's 8:30. Looks kind of dark outside. There was tequila shots. That was off that Don Julio, that 1942. That Casa Azul, right? But there was no ecstasy at that time, right? Right. Didn't Jonathan bring the candles? Yeah. Okay. Let's play the video. They play the video. It's music and voice of Combs. Championship Boston Celtics. So it looked like it might be the night that the Boston Celtics won the championship. Let's go look at it. When did Boston Celtics win the championship? It's 2024. What day? June 17th. Yeah, June 17th. Half an hour later, y'all were fighting, right? Yeah. You testified. You called Diddy a PDF. Even though you know the bitch he was with wasn't underage, right? Right. And you push his head into the counter. Bang! I did. You never had a physical altercation with him before, right? I had not. How hard did you push him? Like hard, or medium hard, or soft hard? Pause. Yeah, medium hard. Okay. You threw a little candle at him, didn't you? Yeah. And when you say you lock the door, how'd you lock the door? Was it like a button? Yeah. So wait. So he didn't force a physical lock, but it was a button lock, right? Yeah. What was he saying? He said, I was crazy. There's a lot of yelling. Did you go in the closet? Yep. You take your working out hella serious, don't you? Yep. But you didn't put on an active wear, but it was rather a dress. Why? Because I could put it on easily.